Hi, Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. Well, this morning we're going to do maybe a little healthier smoothie. Anyway, we're starting out with baby spinach, and we're using kale, ground carrot pulp, a little bit of almond butter, dates to sweeten, and this is cream of wheat and oatmeal, 2 little cubes. And this is sunflower seed pulps, what that is. All right, so here's what we're going to do different. I watched a video from one of the subscribers, Jill. I think Jill's in Oregon. Anyway, very nice lady. And her husband do videos. They're a really cute couple. They really are. And I'm going to leave a link down below to the video that I watched that she made, I guess, the other day. Anyway, once again, to remind myself, use the chia seeds. I always put them, I don't like stuff sitting all out on my counter, and I forget to use them. So we're going to use a tablespoon of chia seeds. And the other thing that it reminded me of after I watched Jill's video, flaxseed. Yeah, so I'm going to use 2 teaspoons. And I think they've got the omega fatty acids, but I don't remember really. But anyway, I know that they're healthy. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of flax seeds. Now, I do remember when I got the flax seeds, and I got them at 14 Karat, one of our South Carolina health food stores. It's in Lexington, South Carolina. And the guy told me that, because I was wanting to grind them all up, you know, and have a pulp so I didn't have to put them in the smoothie, you know, just with the seed, the hull, all that. And, but anyway, the Vitamix will grind it right up. You'll never know what's in there. But anyway, he said, no, you don't want to grind them up ahead of time because they deteriorate really fast when they're ground up. So, listening to that advice, I'm going to just put a couple of teaspoons in. All right, and the other thing is fresh orange juice. Now this is 3 oranges. They're not Valencia, but they're juice oranges. So of course, again, the orange juice kills the taste of the greens, and particularly the kale. Now, I'm using the dates, and the reason I'm using them is because they've got a lot of potassium in there, a lot. And they also have a little bit of protein, and let's see what else they've got. Of course, the fiber, which we all know about, and they've also got some calcium and some iron and vitamin A. So these are just pitted dates from Walmart. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, let me turn this down so y'all can see. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put my other stuff in now. And oh yeah, I wanted to tell y'all, yesterday on QVC, and really I don't ever watch QVC, but I just happened to flip the channel, and they had the 5200 series, which is exactly what I've got, which they call the professional series, on the Vitamix on sale, and they were definitely cheaper than what I paid for mine, definitely. All right, so we're going to use some, y'all still can't see, get there. Use some bananas, and of course I'm back to my frozen bananas in the peel, and then thaw them out. I'm going to squeeze out the little ends. Yeah, so got something else I'm going to use too. I wish I'd had my camera at Walmart the other day, because as I was getting some frozen berries at Walmart, another lady was kind of reaching for the same thing I was reaching for, and she started talking and said she liked to use them for smoothies. And I said, oh, really? And how do you make your smoothie? And so she was telling me all about it. But she had never thought of putting greens in her smoothie. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of peanut butter. Well, that's more like 2 big tablespoons. Put it right down in the middle. And anyway, so she was talking about making the smoothies and how, they made her feel good and all that. And so then I was telling her about how to do the greens. Now, she had tried using like just lettuce leaves and stuff like that. So I was telling her about what the orange juice does to do with getting rid of the taste of the greens in the smoothie. You just never know they're there. And so anyway, we had a nice conversation. I decided to buy some of these because apparently, see, these are triple berry. They've got strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry. And of course, I super love raspberries. There they are. And I don't know where these come from. I really would like to know, because all it says on the back is that these are distributed by Walmart. It doesn't really tell you where the berries come from. So I would really like to know that. And another subscriber said they had emailed Walmart to ask them where the strawberries come from. So I would like to know where the blueberries and the raspberries come from. Anyway, so I'm going to use a cup of these this morning. Just go ahead and dump those in. Of course, they're still frozen. Yeah, and these are, of course, more expensive than the strawberries are. Yeah, so you only get 3 pounds, where in the strawberries you get 4 pounds. All right, so this is pretty heavy this morning. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start out with just a half cup of water. Yeah, just a half cup. And I did want to say thank you to Jill for reminding me of the flaxseed and the chia seeds, because I haven't been using them. Yeah, I mean, it's got to kind of be in front of me, so that I remember. Anyway, let's see how this grinds up. All right, here we go. Give that a taste, and of course it's thicker partly because of the chia seeds, but it will grind up the flax seed and the chia seeds and the seeds that are in the raspberries. Delicious. All right, it is a little thick, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little more, about another 1/4 of a cup of water. Sit there for a minute. It's still a little frozen. All right, so today, of course, I'm going to work on the reupholstering the recliner. I'm going to try to be able to work for several hours today, hopefully without interruptions, because I've already got our lunch is going to be some of the leftover roast from yesterday. And I also made some bread pudding last night, the kind that's got, I've done a video. I'll put the link down below. It's bread pudding with hot buttered rum sauce. It's delicious. And so I've already made that. And we've got tea in the refrigerator. And, hopefully I can just work for several hours on the recliner today. But I did want to, mention to you, someone wrote in and asked, how we did with the flu shot. Well, with the flu shot this time, I ran a little bit of a temperature for 2 days. I think we got the shot on Friday, and I had a temperature by Friday afternoon, and a temperature all day Saturday, and of course soreness and all that. But here's what I wanted to say about the flu shot, because one person wrote in and said, why are you getting the flu shot? Well, because I've had the flu before, and it is no fun. I've had the flu twice in my life. Once when I was in my 20s, and then again when I was probably about 35. The sickest I've ever been, ever. I was just terribly sick, missed both times, missed 2 weeks of work. And even probably for a month after I got over it, I still had weakness. Now, here's the thing. For y'all who don't see any point in getting a flu shot, think about this. If you got the flu, and say you had a real mild form of it, because, I mean, you can have a mild form, and then you come in contact with other people while you've got just maybe a low-grade temperature, you don't even really realize you've got a temperature. It spreads through the droplets if you cough or sneeze, and then you touch anything and it can live on surfaces for a while. So say this happens. You're in the store and you're looking at the produce and you've already got the flu. You don't really know it yet, but you've got it, and you sneeze. Anybody that walks by you or close to you, wherever the droplets hang in the air, they're going to get the flu too. So part of this is thinking of not just about yourself, but about other people, and especially young children and especially older people. Now, I'm going to also leave another link below to do with the pandemic flu of 1918. And I've got a little story about that. In 1918, of course, they estimated 50 million people died worldwide. But the scientists now think that it was more like 100 million because deaths were not reported back then the way they are now. And also it was all over the whole world. Now this was during World War II. And they actually think that the flu started with some Army recruits that were in Kansas. That's what they think, but of course they don't know for sure. But this flu was a pandemic, meaning it caused a lot of death and it was worldwide. So what happened during that epidemic was the flu killed the younger people and not the older people. And they had trouble understanding how can that be, because you would think older people have, probably not as good immunity as younger people do. But apparently some of these older people maybe had the flu in a flu season several years earlier, and so they had some immunity, where the young people did not. So people in their 20s were dying with this flu. Now, how do I know so much about this? Here's how. My paternal grandmother died in 1918 of the flu. My daddy was 8 years old, and he had that flu. Now, the way that flu killed people, they literally drowned it because of the massive response their body made to the invasion, and their lungs filled up with fluid, and they died. And some of them died as early, they would maybe get it in the morning, and by nighttime they were dead. This is how serious it was. Now, the older people that had the immunity, none of them got sick. So here's what happens when you get the flu shot. Your body, first of all, the flu shot is a killed virus. It's not going to reproduce in your body. But what your body will do is produce some immunity, and that, with me, the shot that we got on Friday, just a few hours later, I was already feeling, the sore joints and muscles, and started running a little bit of a temperature, which was a good thing because that showed that my body had already started reacting to it. And it takes about 2 weeks from the time you get the shot till you've got the full immunity there. Excuse me, I still got a little bit of a cough. And by the way, I did develop a little dry cough. So having a reaction to a flu shot is not getting the flu. Now, I didn't feel good. I'll grant you, I did not feel good, but it was nothing like the flu. With the flu, I'm flat on my back for days. I was too weak to even hardly get up out of the bed. I mean, it was really bad, 2 times. So anyway, I pretty much get the flu shot, and so does Mr. Bucky every year. What does that flu shot do? It gives you immunity against 3 of the flu viruses that are sort of dominant in the world, that they think will be the flu that will spread around during flu season that particular year. But here's the other thing it does, and a lot of people don't really realize this. When you get the flu, your body, I mean, if you make it through and you don't die, your body builds up immunity. And because all flus have they're a similar thing, the viruses, then there's a good chance that you are immune to future flus for about 10 years. And that's exactly how long it was with me. From the first time I got the flu, I didn't get it again until about 10 years later, and then I got it again. So that convinced me, you're going to get the flu shot every year. I mean, I just don't think I could go through that again. I was so sick. And now it's interesting because Mr. Bucky's never had the flu ever. I mean, he's gotten little viruses, but he's never had the flu, but he still gets the shot. So the other thing to think about is, like, the reaction I had to the flu shot this time was more severe than the last several years, but you never know. I mean, I've gotten the flu shot and couldn't even tell I had gotten it, but this particular time, which tells me that probably my immunity to the flu was a little low, which is why I reacted the way I did. But anyway, I would encourage you to get the flu shot. Now, I did do a little research over the weekend to see, try to answer some of the questions that y'all had posed. But one of the ladies had written in and said, oh, there's so many toxic things in the flu shot and all that, like mercury and I forget what else. But anyway, they do make a flu vaccine that doesn't have those things in it. And so you can request that and actually get, I think they give that one in the nose. But children that are 2 years old and older should get the flu shot. And everybody should get one. Everybody. Because it's not just you that's at risk. It's if you, maybe you're a young, strong, healthy person and you're never ever sick, and you get the flu, but my goodness, you're over it in a week. You could hardly even tell you were sick, but you were spreading it around. Yeah, if you've got a temperature, even a low grade, you are spreading it around. And droplets that come, coughing, sneezing, even just touching your nose and then touching a surface. So, you could be somewhere, say you went to a friend's house, because you didn't feel all that bad, really. So your friend had you over for dinner, and you go, and you just have a little teeny dry cough, no big deal. You can just clear your throat every once in a while, you're fine. But every time you do that, you're spreading the flu virus. So then, where you had dinner with your friends, they all got sick, including the children. So see, that's why you should get the flu shot, not just because of yourself, but because of other people in the world, and you don't want to be the one who spreads it around. Because think about this, one person with the flu, going shopping, going to a friend's house, going to the convenience store, can make all the people that they come in contact with sick. That's what you call a flu pandemic, because it's so contagious. So anyway, I hope that will encourage you. The flu virus is a killed virus. It's not going to give you the flu. And if you have any kind of reaction, such as sore muscles, a little bit of low-grade temperature, thank God for that, because that's your body building up that immunity. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And the other point to make is that when you get the flu shot, the regular flu shot's got 3 different viruses, killed viruses in it. And even if it turned out that the flu that went around wasn't any of those three, you've got some immunity still because of the similarity of all the flu viruses. So that's something to think about. And also, just from my own experience of having the flu, I certainly was immune for almost 10 years, but then I got it again. And I didn't understand then how all that immunity worked, or I would have been getting a flu shot way back then too, because they were available. All right, so that's my little spill on that. And anyway, I want to get back to the berries a minute. These are expensive, even in Walmart, but they've got the raspberries, strawberries, and the blueberries. And of course, they taste fantastic. So anyway, we're ready to give this a try now, and the glasses should be thawed out more. So here we go. It's still thick because of the chia seeds. And the color is army green, I think. Army green. Yeah. All right. Let's give this a taste. I can taste the flax seeds. Oh, I can. I can definitely taste the flax seeds. We might not be using those again anyway. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have our smoothies, and I think Mr. Bucky's going to do a devotion videotape this morning. And let me see what else. That's all I can think of. I'm going to work on the recliner. I did get the recliners all stripped off and the material, and I got all the parts that were sewn together taken apart and laid out, and I've got the bottom part of the material for the recliner all cut out, and the arms. I don't have the back yet. So yeah, I'm having to really concentrate because I've never done a recliner before, and it's going to be a little harder than a regular chair, I believe. So anyway, I'm hoping to have several hours today to myself to be able to work on those. So all right, then I hope I didn't come on too strong about the flu shot, but you know, the reasons for not getting the flu shot don't really add up, okay? You need to think about yourself and think about other people, and particularly if you've got children. All right, we will see y'all next time.